Lasse, and I'm so glad that you've been able to join us, that you're joining us today as we talk about ref tools. We are broadcasting right now on both LinkedIn and on YouTube, so we're bringing communities together. We're doing a simultaneous stream, and so we're bringing in people from all over the world to showcase something really, really new and really exciting about one of our most popular mobile apps. And so I want to check really quick and see where all of you are tuning in from. So I'm booting up the stream and I'm looking into the comments. So if you are joining the live stream right now, just go into the comments and leave one there, letting us know what city that you are tuning in from, no matter where you are in the world. So I know in previous streams, we've done a couple of these live streams in the past few months. We've had people tuning in from South Africa. We've had people tuning in from places all over Europe. We've had people from South America. It's a truly global event, and we're really excited that you decided to be with us here today. So, as I said before, we are doing a reveal of one of our new features that we've put into RefTools, one of our mobile apps. And to help me with that, I've invited my good colleague Henrik here to be on the live stream today. So Henrik, why don't you go ahead quick and just introduce yourself, let people know who you are and what you do here at Danfoss.
Cool. First of all, nice having me. Thanks for allowing us to tell a bit more about RefTools. So my name is Henrik. I work as a project manager within Danfoss Cooling in our digital team, where we are responsible for basically all digital tools and apps within Danfoss Cooling. Of course, one of them is the RefTools, which we are mainly looking into and trying to improve as much as possible. So that's one of my roles, is to look into what can we do, what kind of features do the users expect, and basically get it out there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to be with us today. I just want to check in quick. I've seen a lot of comments coming through, people saying that they're tuning in from Senegal, from Tunisia, from Saudi Arabia. I even had one person that says that they're tuning in from the moon. So that is definitely a long distance live stream connection. Singapore, Indonesia. It's so exciting that so many of you are joining in from all over the world. So thanks for taking the time. Just a little bit of an overview of what we're going to do in today's live stream. So first, we're going to discuss RefTools. For those of you who don't know what it is, Henrik's going to share just a brief overview of the RefTools app and what it can do and how it supports Danfoss customers every day. And then we'll reveal this new feature that his team has been working really, really hard on. And then finally, we'll do a quick walkthrough of that feature so you can see how you can use it in your workday every day. And then, of course, we want to interact with you. We are watching your comments and we want to have your questions. So please, as we're talking, drop those in. We've got some support personnel that are monitoring in the chat. They'll be interacting with you in the chat. And then at the end of our little spiel, we'll be taking your questions. Just a quick little precursor though, Henrik and I, we are not engineers here at Danfoss. I'm in the marketing department. He's in the development team. And so if you have really technical questions, say like how to calculate pressure and temperature for a specific refrigerant or something like that, we are not the best guys to ask about that, but you can still drop your question into the chat and we'll make sure to tap one of our engineering buddies on the shoulder and have him go into the chat afterwards and get you an answer. So you can still ask those questions, but anything about the app as well, please drop those questions in the chat and we will do our best to get you an answer. So with that, Henrik, can you please just let people know what is RefTools?
Yeah. So I assume the most of you already know RefTools and what it has, because that's kind of a theme for today. But let me do a quick run through of RefTools. So RefTools is basically a one-stop single point of access to anything troubleshooting related content in regards to your Danfoss products. So there's a toolbox of tools that you can use on your daily basis as a HVAC engineer. And currently, RefTools consists of a range of tools. And of course, you all probably know the ref slider, which by far is the most used tool, where you can run pressure and temperature calculations. Then we have the see here. Of course, we have the spare parts finder, where you can look up your Danfoss product and find any relevant spare parts. Then we have the magnetic tool, which you can use for testing solenoid coils if they are working properly or not. We have the low WP tool, where you can, let's say you're changing your refrigerant, you can use it to get a recommendation for the super tuning. And then last but not least, we have the troubleshooter tool, which you can use to identify issues with a cooling system. And then actually, I said last but not least, but also we have, of course, have the podcast, where you can listen to our very cool podcast series, where you can get a lot of exciting insights into the HVAC field.
That's Chilling with Jens, the Chilling with Jens podcast.
Exactly.
And Jens, the guy who does that podcast, actually sits on my team within Danfoss. And so he's been running now for 2 years. So there's a really big catalog or library of episodes that you can tune into right in the RefTools app. So that's really cool. And I just wanted to comment quick, Henrik, my favorite tool, I think, has to be the magnetic tool, right? There's like some kind of weird black magic that makes that app run, where you can hold it up right to a solenoid coil and you can see the wheel spin and see it work. It's amazing how you have tapped into the phone's hardware to make that app work. But RefTools, right? That is a more recent development, right? You had mentioned Refrigerant Slider, and which is an app that's been around for a long time now. It's extremely popular. I think that the stat that we quote, right, is that an HVAC technician, an HVACR technician, uses that app once every 6 seconds in the world. So every 6 seconds, there's someone somewhere in the world that is using that app to do their job better. But can you just tell quickly, in a minute or two, just the short story of that transition from Refrigerant Slider to RefTools?
Yeah, of course. As you mentioned, the Ref Slider is by far the most popular tool. But actually, we saw that among our 5-10 apps, a lot of people were using the same apps. So they had 5-10 Danfoss apps installed at one phone because they used all of them on a daily basis. And we thought, why not just have one app? Why have to download 5 or 10 apps? Why not combine it into one single truth of content, more or less? So that's what we did. That's what we spent the last year doing. And of course, we tried to talk with a lot of users. We're doing this tool for the installers or users, and we can only do it by having your feedback. So we talked with them and confirmation on how can we do this the best possible way, and what tools should it include. That's what we spent the last year on, is by transforming all the tools into one big tool, more or less. So we have some kind of platform for that. And now we're looking into what can we do next? What's the next step for RefTools? How can we do it even better?
And so with that, let's talk about why we're even doing this live stream, right? We are revealing a new feature to make RefTools even better. So why don't you go ahead and let our audience that is tuned in right now know what that is and what is coming?
Yeah, sure. So I briefly touched upon it, but we talk with a lot of users on a daily basis. We monitor how they use the app. We actually also included a feedback module within RefTools, where our users can type if they have any suggestions or questions or areas they want to work better. And we spend some time looking at that to see what they come up with, what main areas of concerns do they have, what can we do better. And combined with our, let's say, so one feedback we got was, you provide a really nice tool in finding the issue and finding a quick solution. But how do we get on from there? How do I find the specific solution? How do I find the specific spare part? And we looked into those kind of functionalities and saw what can we do. And basically what we came up with is a concept that we call the product finder concept. And the idea is basically that you can, similar to the RefTools, you can have one single point of access to anything related to a product. So it's not tools, but it's related about products.
Okay.
And the basic idea is that we're trying to actually take the step further. So let's say you have a case where you're out in the field, you're troubleshooting a cooling system, and you have identified a given issue. we want to take that a step further and help you find even more information about the issue. So the concept is basically you look up a product. It must be said that we're trying to launch several versions. So we're building, I wouldn't say a simple version, but we're building a version that has the most crucial functionalities. Then we're trying to slowly expand over time. But in this first version, you have to look up a product by typing in a code number, which most of our Danfoss products have. Of course, not all, but most of them have. And hopefully, in the future, we can add more ways of finding a product.
Yeah. What are you guys calling this new feature? When people go into the app, what should they be looking for?
They should be looking for the product finder.
Product finder. That is the new feature that is now available in RefTools. Very cool.
And actually,
no, go ahead, please.
Actually, it's already available in your app, so you should be able to open your RefTools now and see it live.
Great. So if you have RefTools on your phone and you're watching this live stream, go in, update the app, and you will see Product Finder right there waiting for you. That's so cool and so exciting to be able to announce that right here on a live stream and say, go download it. Are you ready to give us a walkthrough?
Yeah, let's try.
Awesome. Let's do that. So let's see the app in action here on the live stream.
Yeah. So
wait, real quick. If you're excited about Product Finder and if you're using the RefTools app, go ahead and give us a quick thumbs up in YouTube and on LinkedIn. Mash that thumbs up, like button, and let us know that you're really excited about RefTools. All right, Henrik, take it away.
Sure. So as mentioned, the Product Finder centers around Danfoss products. So for a start, you have to find a given product. In the first version, you have to know the code number. But actually, we're already working on other ways of identifying products, either through barcodes or category search, like you noted from the spare parts finder. In this case, I have the code number for a condensing unit. And how it works is actually that you have to type in 4 digits, and then the tool will propose it's one of these code numbers. You either pick it or you can finalize your code numbers. And I have the phone right here, so I'm doing it live. So here we have identified the condensing unit. I click on it, and then I get to the overview page, where I can see a picture. I can see a short description of the condensing unit to make sure that I found the right product, that I'm not looking at the road code number, for example. In this case, it's a Optimus Slim Pack, where I can see the images and the description. Then I will start going into the 3 main areas in the first version, which are product specifications, it's documents and visuals, and it's spare parts and accessories. And I'll just walk through one by one, and then we can have a talk afterwards. So here we have the product specifications, and it's actually quite straightforward. It's any related product information like size, airflow, condenser type, anything to that given product. So these, of course, for a condensing unit, but if it were a valve or similar, it would be something completely different. Then we have the documents and visuals, and actually this was one of the most sought after information the users were looking for. Installation guides, catalogs, product specs. Yeah. Any document related to a tool is in here.
So you guys have pulled all the documentation that people would normally have to spend a lot of time either going to paper manuals, right, books and those things, or spending time out on an internet browser and typing in the codes and trying to find it on random websites or on our website. You pulled it all into the app.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's also one of the things we saw, that a lot of users were using all kinds of ways to access information about Danfoss. They used RefTools, of course. They used the product store. They use Google. They use all kinds of sources. So we thought, can we put all this information into one tool to make it much faster and better for the user? So in this case, we have the documents pane, and of course, some products have a lot of documents attached to it. So if you're specifically looking for an installation guide, you can click in the top right corner, and you can filter it after installation guides. And then it will only show the installation guides for that given product. We also have the visuals pane if you're looking for images or CAD files. Look them up here to see it as well. Then we have the spare parts and accessories functionality. And it sort of works the same way as the documents pane. We show all the spare parts and accessories related to a product. In this case, we have quite a lot. But it's quite similar to the spare part finder. You can see what spare parts do this product have. And let's try clicking on let's say a pressure switch. Here you can see the given spare part I clicked on. Actually, the concept is very much the same as the product. However, it's a spare part instead of a product. So you can see the image, you can see the description and the different panes. But as you can see here, the spare parts is grayed out because it's a spare part, so it doesn't have any spare parts. Otherwise, you can see anything related to the spare part as well.
Okay.
Then some of you might notice that we have a small button called Add to Basket. And let me try to do a quick elaboration on that. Because as mentioned, a lot of our users were saying, okay, it's cool, so you help me identify the issue. Now you help me identify what kind of product or spare part do I need to fix the issue, but where do I get it? So we tried out to how can we fix that? So we built in a what we call a basket or a buying list where you can find all the spare parts and products you need for your system, add them to a list, and then you have two options. One is you can press up in the top right corner on the share button. Here you can then share your buying list or your basket with, for example, a colleague of yours, or if you have a centralized buying functionality, you can send it to them, or you can find a distributor yourself. So here I click on the distributor button, and then I can see all distributors of Danfoss products within a given range. So in this case, I'm in Denmark, so I have 4 different distributors that I can find Danfoss products at. And I won't do it now, but if I click on one of them, I'm sent to their webpage. Then I can finalize my purchase there or inquire if they have a given product in stock.
Sure. You can send the list that you put together. You can send it to that wholesaler, that distributor.
No, I can send via mail, but I have to find the mail myself. But I can go to their webpage.
Just to find the contact info and to send it on to them.
Exactly.
Or if our customers have a regular wholesaler that they work with and they already have the contact info, then it's just as easy as shooting them an email or a text message with the list attached.
Exactly. Yeah. So in the previous screen I had here, where you can share your list, when you click on the share button, it will populate a easy to understand list of code numbers and how many of each code number you need. And that way you can help the wholesaler or distributor identify much quicker what you're looking for.
Okay.
Because that's also one of the things we got feedback on, was that often the link between identifying what product you need and getting it to the wholesaler can be a time-consuming and a bit of a hassle, because code numbers are fairly long. And if you're going to buy several products, you have to remember all the code numbers. And this way you get an easy way of sharing them just by mail, which should be bulletproof. That
sounds fantastic, and it sounds so simple.
It is.
Great.
But maybe I should mention that of course, as already said, this is only the first version. This is something we're going to work on for a long time. We're going to constantly evolving it and adding new functionalities to make it even better and more user-friendly.
So you guys have built the foundation, and now you're looking to continue to evolve. And like you mentioned before, customer feedback is such an important part of that. So all of you who are tuning into the live stream, we definitely want to hear what your experience has been like in our app. And then also if you have suggestions, if there are new features that you want to see or better functionality. Henrik, I know you've said to me before, that's something that you really value a lot. And so can you maybe share quickly how people can do that in an easy way? And before you do that, I just want to remind everybody who's tuning in, we want to take your questions. So now would be a great time to start submitting them as we wind down what we wanted to talk about. So if you do have a question for us, please drop it in the chat, and we will do our best to get to it before the end of the broadcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Henrik.
So maybe you could you share the screen again of my phone?
Perfect. There you go.
So, as you mentioned, we really like to get the feedback because we're only doing this to provide a nice tool for our users. And of course, we're not engineers, we're not installers. So, of course, we can come up with good ideas, but at the end of the day, we need some feedback from the users to build the right tool. And in order to do that, we actually built in what we call a feedback loop or a feedback functionality. So if you have your RevTools, you can go down to settings, and you can go down to the button where we have the feedback pane. And then you can simply report here if you have a bug, hopefully not, if you have an improvement or you have a question. And then that would directly be sent to our inbox, and we'll have the ability to look into it and answer it. If you're not able to find the settings pane and the report functionality, actually you can also just shake your phone, and then it will magically appear. So that's also a way of doing it. So yeah, please take your time to write us a question, a suggestion, or anything. We are more than happy to answer you and look into it.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for that demonstration and showing us all the cool things that are happening in RevTools now, and then even giving some hints towards the future. So if you're tuning in and you haven't downloaded the app, it's really easy to find in the App Store. You can also go to coolapps.danfoss.com to see all of our mobile apps, including RevTools, or you can go to reftools.danfoss.com to use the browser version. Yeah, we have a browser version too. Plus, you can download the app for Android and for Apple iPhone devices right there from reftools.danfoss.com. And I also want to mention, right, RevTools is used all over the world, in countries all over the world. And so, Henrik, I know your team is also hard at work at localizing the content. And so we are constantly looking at new languages that we can translate over the content into within RevTools and our other mobile apps. So that's where that feedback feature comes into play, where you can suggest a different language and that you would like to see appear in RevTools. So it looks like we're coming to the end of our broadcast. We didn't really get any questions about the app, and that's just fine. So Henrik, I will say that you did a fantastic job describing everything that's new. You left no question in people's mind about what is happening within RevTools. But I will just take this last moment then to say that we have an exciting event coming up in just 2 days. It's called Cooling United Live, and it's a trade show, it's a conference, it's an information sharing event where we're going to have all kinds of unique and exciting experiences. We're going to be sharing a lot of our knowledge and looking to the future in the cooling industry. It is absolutely free for you to attend. All you have to do is go to coolingunitedlive.com and register right now. And you'll be able to participate live. You'll be able to interact with our engineers, our experts, our executives, even in one-on-one conversations. And then also we'll have 5 stages that are packed with information about all aspects of Danfoss Cooling. So head over to Cooling United Live, check it out. You can see the agenda there. You can attend one session, or you could attend both days worth, the full slate. So we hope that we'll see you there. Henrik, again, I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on and share what's going on with RevTools.
Thanks for having me.
I hope that we'll have you back again in the future sometime to share even more developments.
I guess that's a good chance.
Yeah, I hope so. And then for all of you who tuned in, thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to catch this live stream in a recorded fashion, just head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/danfosscool. We keep all of our live stream recordings there so you can access them at any time. I'm Lasse, this is Henrik, and thanks again for joining us today. We'll see you next time.